Today we're inside the factory where Korean spicy noodles come to life. Let's dive in and see how the noodles we all enjoy are made. First off, we're in the warehouse where all the ingredients are stored. They pick what they need for the day and take it to the main unit. This is where the magic happens. They mix simple ingredients like wheat flour, water, salt, and a special ingredient called conceptual. This mix is what turns into the noodles. We get to see everything up close. They mix everything until it's just right. The dough needs to be perfect, not too hard, not too soft. That's where conceptual comes in. It makes the noodles just the right kind of chewy. Watch as the already prepared dough transforms into a flawless sheet through the marvel of modern high-tech machinery and conveyor belts. This sheet steadily becomes thinner in the roller machines, reaching the precise thickness needed for noodles. The design of this equipment ensures that by the time the dough arrives at the cutting blades, it's perfectly thinned out for the next step. As we move our view to the far side of these advanced rollers, we're greeted by the sight of a thin, stretchy sheet. What comes next is fascinating. This sheet is further refined as it goes through sharp blades, turning it into curvy noodles that are exactly to your liking. Observe the elegance and precision with which each noodle is sliced to its specific size. Thanks to separators, every noodle keeps its form and spacing, showcasing the meticulous process behind their creation. Next up, we take our raw noodles and get them ready for steaming. They go into a machine where special nozzles spray just a little bit of water on them. This helps the noodles steam properly and get half cooked. After the noodles are steamed, they move on a conveyor belt to a cutting machine. This machine is pretty cool because it doesn't need anyone to help it work. It cuts the noodles into the exact size they need to be and puts them into molds with lots of holes. The whole process works so smoothly that as soon as one batch of noodles is cut and starts to drop, the machine gets the next mold ready right away. These noodles are quickly fried in hot oil for just 2 minutes. After frying, they're immediately taken out of their molds. This whole step is done without any people involved, because the machines do all the work by themselves. Thanks to these special molds, everything is organized and ready for packing quickly and without any mix-ups. We have an amazing machine to show you. It uses what we often call robotic arms to pick up cups for the noodles and place the noodles exactly on top of them. Here, machines are busy chopping green onions, mushrooms, and other dried ingredients. These ingredients are then added in equal portions to the cups with the noodles. On top of these, a packet of tastemaker and sauces is also added. This way, you get all the flavors you need for a perfect cup of noodles. Now, some more robotic arms carefully place the prepared lids on top of the cups and seal them. This keeps the flavor and freshness intact until the cups reach you. I can see how brilliantly these machines work together, preparing each cup one by one for further sealing. The cups line up and pass under roller drums, ensuring each one is sealed tight. Then, with the help of other machines, they're wrapped in plastic to make them even more secure. This whole process is done so neatly and quickly that you have to watch closely to catch all the details. And that's how these companies can make thousands of cups of noodles every day. Ever noticed how vibrant and eye-catching Korean noodle packaging is? There's a science to that too. Companies invest in psychological research to design packaging that appeals to emotions and taste expectations. It's all about creating a visual and tactile experience that complements the culinary one. This big robot is now being used for stacking, so it can handle all the boxes gently and with care. It makes sets of 6 boxes and easily lifts and stacks them in one place. This way they can be easily picked up later and loaded into transport trucks. Let's give you a closer look at special requests. See how easily the robot is working and handling this tough job all by itself. These error-free machines are very helpful in making the business successful because having less labor and making more products is always good. And these machines are doing their best to make that possible. You can bet that whether you're big or small, you won't be able to say no to these colorful wobbly gummies. We've brought them, especially for those who wanted to see this colorful party. These colorful gummies are ready, and now they're being packed in a very precise way. With the help of exact counting controls, all the jars are filled equally with gummies. Who doesn't like bubble gums? They're a must-have for everyone. Let's show you how the material for bubblegum is made and then poured into molds. Machines are really helpful for all these tasks. They easily pick up the sticky material and fill the molds through nozzles. Then, with great care, all the molds are filled up and given a slight shake to make sure the material sets well in the molds. We'll also show you how they get their proper shapes later on. Singapore famously banned chewing gum in 1992 to keep public spaces clean. The ban is still in place, though exceptions are made for dental or nicotine gums, which can be bought from a pharmacy with an ID. Have you ever tried waffles, a sort of chocolate-filled biscuits? If yes, then please tell us in the comments, because I have never eaten them before, and maybe I won't be able to leave them after today. They cut the chunk that is needed for a desired biscuit and keep it under the mold pressers, which give them a nice shape in pairs. After putting their stamp on the waffle biscuits, they send them all for baking. But let's take you directly to the filling, because there is no more fascinating sight than the way these machines pour a little bit of silky smooth chocolate on the biscuits from the molds. After leaving each biscuit line, they drop a little chocolate on the next biscuit line, and the robotic arms gently pick up the empty biscuits and stick them on the other biscuits so that the chocolate-filled biscuits can be made. This whole procedure is handled very quickly, and then they rest all the ready-made biscuits for a few minutes so that they cool down and absorb the flavors well. After that, they all reach the packing house, where they pack all the freshly baked biscuits in fancy packaging so that they can reach you. Lock up those gates because we are going to get inside the most secret and secured unit. You are right, it's where the dollar bills are going to be made right from scratch. So while they take up the cotton bales towards special paper-making machines and we show you around, let's grab some snacks for the most wonderful entertainment ride. The cotton fibers are mechanically shredded, and then grinding and chemical digestion makes continuous threads of paper. Continuous paper thread will serve as the foundational material for manufacturing currency notes, providing the necessary strength and durability required for everyday use. Using several integrated stamps and unique threading systems, the paper gets the royal treatment of getting several necessary back-end watermarks. The sheets are stacked and rolled, making huge bundles. So once they are inspected for quality, any defective sheets are removed from the production line, and the rest of the bundles are cut into 3 major rolls. Once the paper is fed into the machines, they make the special paper windows, which is a common security feature used to enhance the authenticity of the banknote. Paper windows include special hologram strips, which are shiny sections of currency paper that reveal embedded security features such as watermarks or holograms. As the paper is stacked in different sections, they are passed through several scanners that detect the 3-dimensional effects when viewed from different angles. This will approve the authenticity of these notes, so they will be collected for further printing to make them more presentable. After the currency paper has been cut into individual sheets, it is fed into printing presses for the final stage of the production process. Specialized printing techniques are used to create intricate designs and patterns, including portraits, symbols, and security features. By using advanced printing techniques and quality control measures, central banks and government agencies ensure that only genuine currency notes are produced. In offset printing, the image to be printed is transferred from a metal plate onto a rubber blanket, which then transfers the image onto the paper. This indirect printing method allows for highly detailed and complex designs to be reproduced with exceptional clarity and sharpness. This silky smooth specialized paint is being prepared to get you those precious numbers on your dollar bills. Look at these shiny numbers. That is one more proof that your dollar bill is a real note. Highly specialized printing presses are used to apply the final layer of ink to the currency notes, ensuring that the images are printed with exceptional clarity and precision. Now, this was the final stage of your $100 bill being made with a lot of strategies and secret methods, so no one can copy the originality of a banknote. As they box up those notes, they will be transferred with higher security to keep the intruders away. Now it's time for making a $20 bill. We are right inside the money-making unit, so at least for now, I must talk big numbers. Hey, a quick question. What fast food items can we buy for $20 in the USA? As they are printing the stacks of dollar bill sheets, let's move towards where they closely check for the originality and accuracy of a banknote. As the process keeps going, let us take you towards intaglio printing, which is a specialized printing technique in currency production to create raised images and text on the surface of the paper. After this final printing, where all the knickknacks are done with great precision, now comes the very last part where the note is being precisely cut into perfect dollar bills shapes. This process ensures that each bill is of uniform size and thickness, making them easy to handle and count. Finally, the bundled bills are packaged in clear plastic wraps and sealed to securely packed into card boxes. The premium sealing tape is being used here to tightly secure the notes, but of course the transportation security is what matters the most. So according to the most recent data, the BEP produces about 1.2 billion $1 bills annually, though this figure can vary slightly from year to year based on demand and economic factors. Once the currency is made and ready to transport, secure transport vehicles are used to transport the currency notes safely and securely, with armed guards accompanying the shipments to ensure their protection. The inherent taste and texture of chocolatey treats are perhaps the most straightforward reasons for their worldwide consumption. And especially if you have been on a zero-sugar diet for a week or a month, what would you know about that heavenly deliciousness of that first bite of chocolate? No, dude, no. You can never know. Interestingly, some people consume chocolate because of its perceived health benefits. While chocolate, particularly dark chocolate, does have some health benefits due to its antioxidant properties, but as I always say, it is important to consume it in moderation. The belief that chocolate can be part of a healthy diet when chosen wisely and eaten in moderation motivates some people to include it in their dietary habits. And I think it's true, it lifts your mood, enhances your antioxidation, and keeps your system satisfied and clean for a while. That's only my perception based on my research. I can be wrong. But as I stick to a clean diet a lot, I eat dark chocolates whenever I crave them, so I think a little won't hurt, right? Often during times of stress or emotional distress, people may crave chocolate because of its ability to quickly elevate mood through dopamine release. Crunchy and crispy breadsticks are a delightful snack with a rich history and few health benefits. They are low in fat and can be a good source of fiber. However, flavored breadsticks, particularly those with cheese or other high-fat toppings, can be higher in calories and fat.
It is said that happy cows give delicious milk, so these chubby cattle, the happiest creatures on land, are the major secret sauce. So when someone asked them what's their secret of producing such quality milk, they said they use VR glasses to make their cow feel relaxed and happiest while they begin milking. As we're on our journey to make butter, obviously the very first step is to collect milk from dairy farms. And when the process seems like this, it's an icing on the cake. In this automated system, each cow enters a designated stall equipped with a milking unit. These units consist of cups gently placed on the cows. A controlled vacuum is created within the cups, drawing the milk out naturally and comfortably for the cow. The entire milk is collected in the containers without any human contact. But wait, before the milk hits the dairy charts, it undergoes a usual and thorough quality test. Test passed? With flying colors? It's time to dispatch. The raw and fresh milk is delivered to the butter-making units. These storage facilities maintain the freshness of the milk and make it ready for heating chambers. Maintaining the right temperature is crucial to preserve the milk's freshness and to separate the creamy part. Centrifugation helps a lot here. Now we get two main things: skimmed milk, which is saved for sale purposes, and the cream. Ever happen to taste skimmed milk? Well, it's super beneficial too. One more thing, nothing is gonna get wasted here. Centrifugation is faster and more precise than waiting for cream to rise naturally. It allows butter-making facilities to process larger quantities of milk more efficiently. The entire cream is smoothened, and after taking it through pasteurization and a little maturing the cream, they get their hands on the butter grains that are smooth, subtle, and entirely ready to create smoothie butter out of them. Now the cream releases thin milk, which is also called buttermilk. This buttermilk is super efficient for further processing, and yeah, you can easily find it in every store. The butter grains are thoroughly washed to remove any buttermilk residues. It might be much better if they didn't involve those hands. Washing is like a little secret to making your butter even more delicious. It takes away anything that might make the butter taste tangy. Now he's gonna add some salt to make that salty butter. Churning and continuous movement causes the fat molecules in the cream to come together and form butter. The butter is put into a special container to make the butter show some moves. Now these kneaders continuously knead the butter mixture to make it even more creamy and flow like an unbounded stream. You know, in ancient times, the value of butter was so high that people would use it as currency. Imagine going to the market and paying in pats of butter. Also, there's a village in Tibet where they make a special type of butter that doesn't melt, even in the summer heat. Someone here? Come fast, look how uncontrollable this flow is. So he has brought the larger chunks of preserved butter. What's he gonna do now? Simply, first, he's gonna send these beastie buddies to slice them and convert them into smaller chunks. But why? What I think is he's going to refresh the butter and try to make it more, buttery. There was once a heated debate about whether butter or margarine was healthier. The debate got so intense that some countries even banned the use of yellow coloring in margarine to avoid confusion with butter. It was a spread showdown. You do realize what margarine is? The major difference is in their making. Margarine is processed with the help of vegetable oils that can be corn, soy, sunflower, and more best for those who are on a vegan diet, while the butter is made through pure milk. The extruder works by pushing the butter through a shaped nozzle, creating uniform shapes. It's like using a Play-Doh machine that squeezes out dough in a specific shape. In this case, it's shaping butter. And for those who love hand-molded, beautifully shaped butter, this is for you. Packing begins! The machines beautifully work in harmony. One is placing the tubs in place, and the nozzles are pouring the smooth, textured butter into every tub, filling them to a fixed extent. Yeah, don't mind that last robot who's sealing these tubs with the golden paper. The process keeps going, and finally, they are popped up from their containers, and a robotic arm passes them to a conveyor belt. And this roller coaster is not just a style, it's another technique to take them conveniently towards the barcode generators. Here the butter is prepared for 500 grams packing. Packing is ready, and the butter is continuously rolled for a creamy texture. The robotic cutter and butter pourer work side by side for quick packing. So, on the backstage, butter is added to the pouring container from where the tiny nozzles fill up the molds. The sealing wrapper injected into the sealing machine makes sure every butter cube is perfectly sealed. Want to hear some spice? Early Irish monks are said to have used a unique method for churning butter. They attached a wooden staff to a churn and rocked it back and forth. Monastic butter making had its rhythm. Now the time has just arrived to make some melted butter or ghee to spice up your meal. The butter chunks are first brought to the room temperature area, where it is kept to naturally melt and soften. While the melting chambers are ready to melt, boil the butter using moderate steam until it changes its consistency. They keep on stirring the melted butter liquid until it seems like it changes its consistency first, then color, and then its true nature. The very next step is satisfying and of course useful. First, to pour out the entire liquid material into other containers where it cools down to some extent before reaching the packing stations. Once cooled, the entire material is poured through sieves to the packing collectors. This is important to get the pure liquid butter. See how seamless this process is? That entire liquid butter stock is going to pour into the containers until everything is settled and they lock the buttery freshness inside it. When you brush liquid butter on baked goods, it gives them a glossy finish. So, It's another marvel made out of pure and good milk. Hey, the show isn't over yet. If you haven't watched our recent video regarding bread or even that colourful bunch of jam production, we're right here.